Hey guys, so I have Laura here. We went ahead and textured and varnished her, well, textured with varnish yesterday. And I'm going to go ahead and map her head now. I will be honest, I don't usually map my heads. I do sometimes, but not all the time. But I do have a friend that is struggling with mapping, so I thought this might help her. I have some Prisma pencils here that I'm going to be using. And I also have chalk that I'll probably go over my Prisma lines with because I want you guys to be able to see. I think one of the biggest, I don't want to necessarily say mistakes, but I have watched a lot of rooting and mapping videos, especially when I was first learning. And in order to get it to show up on camera, people do their mapping lines very, very dark. You don't want to do that if you're doing, if it's on a baby, you're actually rooting because you will be able to see those crazy dark lines through the hair. So I'm gonna just do it as I would normally do it, and then I'll go over with chalk so you guys can see it. So I have Sepia here. She is gonna have dark hair, so I'm gonna use browns. I also have a 90% French gray and a sandbar brown. It's really important if you're planning on baking the head after this, there's a lot of Prisma colors that you don't want to use. You don't want to use chocolate, burnt umber. Basically, anything that has red in it will turn orange with baking. But sepia is really good color and it does not turn orange at all. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do on her is I'm going to start in the back here. And she is going to have a bit of a swirl about here. And, the easiest thing I have found to start with a swirl for mapping is a basic 6-9. So I'm going to do a 6 shape here. You could see it's basically a 6. And then I'm going to come back and make a 9 shape. And this will be my swirl here. It's really important with mapping, you don't want any straight lines. And basically, I'm just going to go with the natural flow of the hair. Here, the hair would start, it's going to come up a little and would start going down this way. And I'm just keeping my lines really light. It's going to be here around the ear. And I'll just draw a couple of really light hairs there. It's going to swirl around pretty much to the middle, to the back here. And I just stop a little bit above where my line's going to stop. And then again, it's going to swirl. You can notice there's no straight lines. It's a curved pattern. And then again, I'm working with my swirl. It's going to come up. I don't want this straight line either. So I'm just kind of making a little wave here. Again, I'm going to go around the line of my swirl and down here to the sides behind the ear where it's going to come out again. And all of this is you're basically working off of the swirl. I wouldn't want to do a straight line here. Hair doesn't grow that way. Hair grows in basically hair grows like this, you know. So I'm going to come off of my swirl again here, go to the front. This hair is going to be rooted this way. And off of my same line, again, on this side, working from my swirl, it's going to go down here. This hair is going to be rooted going up and towards the back. And same thing off of that same line to the front. I don't want to go too far to the front. I'm not sure if I'm going to give her a little side swipe or forward, and I'll probably decide that when I start rooting. A really easy tip for the sides here. Basically, her hair is going to come out here in a little triangle shape, kind of, and then back down here. And so I can do C's. I'm going to go above the temple in a C shape. That'll be about her hairline. And then again around the middle of her ear in another big C. And that gives me this. That's where her temple will be rooted there. And here where the ear is, I'm just going to do a few really light hairs. And those will show up when I'm rooting. They'll just blend in like little hairs. A lot of times, even though I'm going to root these, I'll just draw some little tiny hairs. So the same exact thing on the other side where the temple is. We're going to do a C. From the bottom of the ear, another C. And you can see that gives us same on both sides. And again, here, I'll just do some real light. And you can notice these are farther back. Her hair is not going to start back here, but I'm going to be filling this in with really fine little hairs that I'm going to root, and then it's going to get thicker back here. I'm going to look at her forehead and see where the head starts getting flat, which is here. This is going to be about her hairline here. So I just want to go from her nose right there. And like I said, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be doing, but I do know I'm probably going to be going to about right here, which means that even though these are back here, I'm either going to do a side swoop, which means I'll start the little hairs over here and then go back here, or I'll just do finer hairs here. And that is rooting. Mapping. I'm going to go ahead and we'll outline it with chalk just so you can see it better. Again, a basic 6, a basic 9. To the back, coming off that, around, coming off it again, around, coming off it again towards the front, coming off it here. That way, if I wanted to do it again, I would follow my same line right here where it starts going down. I would do another one just to kind of break it up into sections. Coming off of the same line here, swooping up to the front. The same line here, going up to the front. Same line going up. Everything that you're doing is off of this line here. Everything in the back, everything in the front. And again, just right. And if I want to do this in chalk, I can do the same thing, a C, and then another C. I'll go up to my hairline there, that, a C, another C. And then I'll decide what I'm doing with the front of my hairline. and that looks pretty crooked. I wouldn't actually follow if I was gonna root that, but it'll probably realistically be about. And the front hairline, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a side swipe, if I'm gonna do forward. So I'm not gonna draw that, but this is a basic pattern. Again, the most important thing, if you're using Prisma, do it very, very light. You want to be able to see it, but you don't want it to show through the hair. Otherwise, it looks funny. If you're painting hair, you know, you I don't paint hair well at all. I've tried learning how to paint hair. It's my nemesis. I cannot do it for the life of me. But you also, if you're painting hair, you definitely would not want to do a dark lined map either. You would just want to do, again, just really light, like a real light little guide to where you're going. That's about as dark as you would want to do it. If you were doing a different color, you would, pick a color that matches the color that you're going to root. But yeah, that is a really simple, basic mapping for Laura. Um, you know who you are. I hope that you found it helpful, but I hope other people did too.